Welcome back to Chat with Kip podcast. Man, I have a super special guest for y'all. I thought I was an entrepreneur growing up, but I have nothing compared to this guy I'm about to introduce y'all to. It's funny, when I met this person, he was my intern at Enterprise Rent a Car after I graduated college. And I always think I'm the big brother, but honestly, he was kind of like my big brother and showed me some entrepreneurial ways. Actually talked to me about real estate. He was the first person I known personally that was in real estate and was really doing some big things at the age of 18 years old. I was in his wedding. When I say we've been friends for a long time, them going out days, I really wanted y'all to hear his story and talk about being an entrepreneur, starting off in high school, following his parents' footsteps, learning a lot, actually teaching his whole family some real estate stuff. And man, he has been one of those staples in Houston that has really made an impact on the real estate market, from being a broker, from being an insurance agent, from being a builder. So with further ado, one of my really, really good best friends, a guy who is loyal, who has been trustworthy, who has taught me a lot about business acumen and about real estate in general. So with further ado, I have the one and only Will Garner. We call him Sporty, but we'll go by Mr. Garner today. So man, thank you so much for being here. It's been a long time. You taught me so much, and it's funny because I'm a pretty quiet person. So when we did this podcast thing, I was like, man, I got to have Will Garner on it because you made my life just amazing. All the stuff that I learned from you, the education, just the work. And I tell people all the time, knowledge is power. Even though it's my initials, right? KIP, knowledge is power. I feel like I just hold that to my heart, and I want to just, man, get your story out to the community and let them know all about you. So, Will Garner, introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about you.
Man, appreciate it. Y'all saw how you brought me out. I feel like I was being brought out by Steve Harvey. Man, thank you so much. Definitely, it's an honor to be on here. I'm in admiration of everything you're doing here with the podcast. Is an amazing thing, and yeah, like Kip says, I have been in the entrepreneurial realm for a while, and it's been ever since I can remember. It's just been one of those things that's always been on my heart. I guess I used to watch television shows like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous and stuff. And I used to, at my grandmother's house, my grandmother lived on Coke Street in Fifth Ward. So when I would stay with her, I'd watch everything from those shows like that to those real estate shows, Carlton Sheets and stuff. And so my mind was always spinning as far as like what I could do. I did my undergrad at A&M, went to North Shore and Forest Brook High School here in the Houston area. So I'm a Houston native.
Quick question for you. What made you go to A&M?
So I went there on an engineering scholarship. I at Forest Brook used to have one of the best engineering programs. Mr. Austin Hayward was over that program. And that's why I went there. So I was in everything from drafting to computer programming when I was in high school. And he actually exposed me to A&M. I had never been up there. I didn't know anything about College Station. And we went up there on like an engineering competition visit. And when I saw the place, I visited there and I visited the University of Texas. And I got into both of those schools. And so I just made a decision to go into A&M. And it was an amazing time. Can't lie, when I first got there the first semester, I was ready to come home. A&M is a school where we were underrepresented. I was 2% of the population, wasn't many Black folks there. And it just didn't feel like home. And my mom was the type, she's like, you're going to finish the whole year, give it a full year. You didn't come up here just to come back home, because I was ready to transfer to U of H after the first semester.
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
It was tough, but it was like the best thing my mom could have did, because what it did for me was put me in a situation where I had to get comfortable in my own skin wherever I'm at.
Absolutely.
So now I could be at, and it's helped because I've been at home building conferences all over the country where I'm literally the only Black dude in the room. And I sit there and have a whiskey with these dudes, talk shit and have a good time.
Right.
And it's no big deal. And so that's the blessing that continues to give now as a business professional, being forced to be uncomfortable in a situation to where I had to be comfortable. So Yeah, well, entrepreneur stuff, even in college, I had a record label when I was there. Crazy Cat
Oh, I
Records
know. I
back in the
remember
day.
that. I remember the modeling. I remember a whole
I was
bunch.
doing all
Like
sorts
at
of stuff.
A&M.
Yeah, try to make it work. Crazy Cat Records. We had the started like a little swimsuit line for girls, and that was kind of like a little flex back in college. So it was a cool deal. So I used to work in the studio at A&M doing sound engineering. Got my license when I was 19 years old, real estate license. So not only would I work in the music studio, but I also worked in the with a company called WTA Management,
Okay.
where we did leasing. We had about 300 some units around College Station. So I always had a little bread in my pocket. So I'm leasing duplexes and leasing apartments to students, going to the sound studio, working there, and had a part-time job in the rec center doing personal training. So I was literally bouncing around everywhere in College Station,
yeah.
having a good time at the same time too, you know. And
Yeah.
so when I finished from A&M, I did work at Kimball Hill Home for a few years as a
Okay.
project manager.
Yeah.
So I built a lot of homes out in the Woodlands, did Imperial Oaks, did Louetta Glen out there in those neighborhoods. And then when I kind of got that bug again, I was like, I need to do my thing. Left Kimball Hill
Yep.
Homes, and then started building on my own.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was just one of those leap out on faith deals. I was looking at the HUD statements that kept coming through.
Start seeing them numbers.
You know, and I was like, wait a second, y'all giving me a $1,500 bonus. Y'all making 50,000 off of this. So so that's why I started.
So it just
building
made
on.
sense to get into just building for yourself.
Definitely.
Because I know you was my construction manager when I was at KB Home.
Yep.
And you knew the process already. And of course, your background was awesome coming from A&M with the engineering. You just knew construction. I mean, you knew processes as well. So talk to us about transitioning from being the entrepreneur at A&M into really getting into that corporate world with Kimball Hill, KB Home, and then just starting off on your own. How was that, I guess, transition?
The transition was definitely it's difficult because you have to like know when to, like, when you work with a corporate environment, you could shut stuff off. You can say, okay, well, I'm gonna leave my work at work. Right. So when you come home, you know, as an entrepreneur, you're running everything. I'm doing everything from payroll to making sure that, you know, I have everything done from beginning to end. So your job is really never done. And so you find yourself working a lot of extra hours, but when you love doing what you're doing, it's not really
It don't
work.
feel like it. Because I know we'll talk 3 or 4 in the morning and
I'll
we'll
be up.
talk business. We'll be out and about and still talk business and come home after we had some whiskeys and cigars and still talk business.
Still keep
I
working.
think it's just part of our
It's our
DNA.
nature,
It's
right?
yeah, like that's what we do. So
Absolutely.
I definitely get it.
Absolutely. And I think the rough part about, you know, being entrepreneurs, you got to take the losses with the wins just the same way. Because I went through the 2008 recession. I had some homes that we were building, we just couldn't move. You know, so went from literally, you know, making $150,000 a month building homes out in Lake Conroe to the market just like came to a gridlock.
Yep.
And as a 27-year-old, you know, kid, really, still, it was an adjustment. I was newly married. You know, my wife at the time was like, she didn't know what was going on. And I was like, I'm trying to move these homes. These people ain't
Right.
buying them, you know? So
Yeah.
I went through that cycle and I had to learn that, you know, the real estate market is cyclic. So that's one thing I took from it. You know, it ebbs and flows. So you have your ups and downs. And then not only with that, just finding inner peace within yourself when stuff is not necessarily going the way that you think it should be going, just being able to woosah and say, okay, it's going to work out right. And so that, I think that was one of the biggest education experiences going through those situations. So
Absolutely. I mean, we learned a lot from it. I have seen you build $50,000 homes, and I have seen you build multi-million-dollar projects.
Yeah.
So tell me which ones you like the best and what makes more sense for you and why.
Right now, I like to build anything, to be honest with you. But It depends on that cycle of the market.
Okay.
So right now it makes more sense to build the homes in between that 250 to 300,000 range. Interest rates have, gone up. People have a lot of uncertainties right now with what's going on in the economy. There are people are uncertain about immigration reform that's going on. I know that's something that I have to even think about as a builder. You know, with labor and stuff like that. So right now, I think that my sweet spot is in between that 225, yeah, in between 200 to 250. Now, this to me, I've always said I'm going to do the same amount of work if I build this 250, $300,000 home as if I'm gonna build me a
I
a
see. I
million
have
dollar
seen. I
home.
know. I see them all the time. I seen your projects, especially coming through the title company. I mean, I've seen the projects that you've done, the ones that you do in the future, the ones you projected to do.
Yep,
I know that you're real tech savvy and putting technology with home building together, and investors with technology together as well.
absolutely.
Man, there's so much I can say about you. I know we like slated us for 15, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
so I want to make sure I got it all out there for you, Will, and just let us know, man.
So
Like,
that's the technology piece is definitely where we're going. I've ramped up my social media, the YouTube channel we started, and then on my website, sportygarner.com. I have a complete course available. So I want to give back to those who want to like learn some of the like say, hey, I want to learn how to build homes. I want to learn how to flip homes. So I actually have a course on my
on your
website.
website, okay,
Yeah, and so I'm adding some cool new features for AI
okay,
that we're implementing. I'm a big tech geek, so that's I went to school for computer engineering,
yep,
and so when it comes to technology, I'm all in that. And AI, I think, is where you really have to like look at it. If you're not looking at it, like where is business going? Where is entrepreneurship going? You have people who are making millions of dollars right now in the artificial intelligence arena. So you do have to pay attention to trends and what's the next biggest thing. So where I'm looking at is how am I able to bring together what my core competency is in building, construction, and real estate with these new technologies that are coming out in the market. So I do have a project. I don't want to like take the whole cat out the bag on
don't
that,
tell them.
but
Yeah, then let's hold it for
we
another
have
time because I want to have you back as well because I need you to talk to the people about the home buying process. So I'm gonna bring you back because I know you at EXP. I know you've been a broker for a long time. So I'm definitely bringing you back on the show so you can let the listeners know about the home buying process as well. But I really want to talk about your current businesses. I know that we had you taught me how to do taxes. I've been doing taxes about 14 years. So that's really how I got into the tax business, thanks to
yeah.
you. And it's been, man, profitable and it's been growing. So thank you so,
So
so
wait a
much.
second. That's right. I brought you into the tax business.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's another one of them entrepreneurship moments, right? So yeah, initially, that was back in 2008 when I added the taxes to our business venture, and now it's morphed more into I'm facilitating other entrepreneurs who want to get into taxes. So I'm helping. This past year I had 15 entrepreneurs who had offices under our umbrella. I'm not competing with them from a client standpoint. We're wanting to figure out how can we take you from start to get you to where you're doing, maybe 100 returns your first year and growing from there. And so that's what the piece that I'm doing now, more so acting as a facilitator. We have developed our own software called Taxology Pro. You can go to taxologypro.com and find the software and get the software. And so that's where I'm at now with
Okay.
the tax piece, and then just really like trying to put the focus on centering myself around entrepreneurs who want to grow, because it's like, taxes is one of those businesses where you can come in and you can make 100,000, in a few months, and then you can turn around and say, hey, you know what? I want to invest that money into
Mm-hmm.
something. That's what you should do, is investing in something, whether you're investing into real estate projects, whether you're investing into cryptocurrency, or you're looking at trading, because I get into doing some of that as well. with trading. I've been trading with a guy named Crypto Corey, with Envision, Crypto Corey, and David Imonetti.
Mhm.
And they've got a really good platform that I've joined with them. So it's, so I'm looking at things money wise, like, hey, where we're going in the future. So I think the overall trajectory for myself as an entrepreneur is really, like, I had to come to the conclusion, like, hey, I am the product. Let me protect what I'm doing. Let me protect my mental state, my spiritual state, my physical state, going, waking up at 5 in the morning and going to the gym and get myself together to where I can now be a blessing to someone else in the business, stratosphere.
I like that. I feel like we are
We're the
almost the
product.
exact same person, right? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like we both have a couple business, and it's not like we want to be at the offices all the time running business. We want to put people in place to run them and to help them grow and develop and have their own business as well. Because I
Absolutely.
feel like it's part of us giving back to the community that gave so much to us, right? We grew up on the east side of Houston, so we know the grind, we know the work ethic, we know that our parents was blue collar workers in the plants,
Absolutely.
in the oil and gas industry. So we understand coming from that side, that area, that we don't mind doing the hard work to get to where we want to be at, man. Because I have seen you do so much in the time period that we've known each other, and I'm sure you're doing so much more that you don't tell me. But I definitely follow your social media. Even though I'm a little bit older than you, I mean, I look up to you quite a bit.
I
Like
appreciate it.
I follow
Thank
your
you.
entrepreneur. Like when I met you, I guess that in 2001, 2002, I was like, man, this guy is a real go getter. I want to
Appreciate
be
it.
around you. I want to hang out. And we talk about stuff more than business. We talk about personal relationships. We talk about the value of an individual. We talk about life. We talk about kids. So, man, it's just been a super awesome experience just to meet you in my life,
Appreciate it.
because you changed a whole bunch of stuff that I have never thought I would even experience whatsoever. You changed my lifestyle. And man, I really appreciate it. And
Wow.
thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Man,
It's like you kind of like hinted at, you like, hey, we're both from the east side, that blue collar, you know, environment. My dad worked at Centerpoint Energy for 30 years. I grew up watching him get up every morning at, 4 o'clock in the morning, come home in the evening, and still find a way to get me and my brother to practice and make sure we, were involved in sports. And so when you look back at it, I look back at it, I say, okay, that there's so much pain that my dad probably went through that process, that I had to, like, as a man now, like, okay, what type of pain did he go through? And as a father, I have 3 children. I've gone through a divorce. I'm like, man, I've experienced pain, and know the pain that you go through and the experiences that you experience in life betters you as a man, and helps refine your process. And so at 45, that's where I feel like I'm just constantly refining my process, because I still, we still have our successes, we still have our failures, and every day is a learning experience. So it's a complete body of work at the end of the day. We were kind of talking before this, the pre-talk, when talking about like documenting things. I was like, I've been recording. iPhone should have never put a camera in the phone, because when I first got off, that's when I started recording everything, especially from the moment my first son was born. I've documented everything, the process. And now, I'll go back and look through my phone. I'm like, man, I've got so much content, but it's so cool because I've literally documented my whole journey of everything. And I'm hoping that, my kids will be able to, see that life experience, look back and say, okay, let me take some of these jewels that dad left, some of these nuggets along the way,
Mhm.
and they can end up, doing something with them and going further than what I've gone. That's kind of where I'm at. So
Absolutely. I know we both was ex-athletes growing
yep,
up in college, everything. Um but we are super nerdy as well,
super
right?
nerdy. Yeah.
We like to have a good time. What would the 45-year-old Will tell the 21-year-old Will?
Be more precise and be more with your work and be more intentional with your effort. because the energy tapers off as we get older. So looking back at when I was 21, 22, I could have been more intentional and direct with what I wanted to do with my brand and really just let it hang. Like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I see like these young YouTubers and people, streamers, they're letting it hang. They're saying, hey, we're gonna go out here and get it. I wish I would have just not gave a damn about everything. Like, hey, everybody's gonna judge you. Some people are gonna hate you. Some people are gonna love you. And that's one thing I wish I would have just let it hang more and just been like, hey, I'm gonna go all out.
I definitely agree with you, man. I definitely agree with you because I'm the same way. I'm glad we have started the podcast, the shows, giving back to the community, educating the community. And we also looking for mentees. Like we don't mind mentoring people as well because we know that giving back to the community is the way that helps us as well. Focus, keeps us busy, and also just a way for us to say thank you for these sides. So, man, like if y'all have any young people out there who's looking for mentors, please reach out to us. We are very open, very blunt about everything, and we like to be open. We like to see our community grow and develop. And I don't care where y'all at, all across the U.S., all across the world. Talk to us, man. That's what we're here for. We've been through it. We experienced it. And I mean, I wouldn't say we were super poor growing up, but we wasn't like where we at now. But we saw the grind. We was probably like middle class, maybe lower middle class, but we feel like we had everything we need, the tools to be successful and to take it to a whole nother level. Man, give them some closing remarks. And,
definitely. The closing remarks. I got a gift for you. Let me see if I can move this mic out. I was at Essence Fest this past week. I'm gonna mess this up, huh?
You can spit it down. I got you.
Okay. Yeah, I got this for you. I was at Essence Fest this past week, and I bought it. It's just a candle. It's a candle.
Okay.
And so I met a really cool entrepreneur, a young lady with her company called Culture Design, and so I wanted to give this to you. I appreciate you and bringing me on the podcast.
Perfect. I like the name as well. Y'all see that?
It's Pleasure.
Culture Design Company called Pleasure. And I definitely love pleasure. So it goes with me. I like it.
she told me, she's like, you like that in the bedroom, which is significant other. It takes it from 0 to 100. Okay. I also want to give you a copy of my book,
shut up.
Flip Story. And so you can get a copy of this actually on
y'all make sure y'all get that.
Garner.com. So
oh wow. Damn, can I get this signed?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Y'all got to see this. How to Flip Homes with Will Sporty Garner.
That's it. The course is available online. So yeah, I appreciate you for bringing me on the show. And we're gonna do some big things.
Absolutely, man. Give them all your handles so they can get in contact with you, reach you.
Definitely. So my main handle is at sportygarner.com, SPORTY Garner. And then of course the website sportygarner.com. And you can also check out my YouTube channel, which is Global Property Passport. We just got back from Colombia. That was an amazing experience. I did a whole film out there about real estate in Colombia. And we actually I'm working with a developer in Cartagena. Got 72 units in one building that are Airbnb turnkey. So anybody who wants to invest abroad, I'm working with a broker down there, a really cool lady, Claudia Arevalo. So I've been going back and forth, about once every other month now, working with some investors who want to purchase property there. And we've refined the process. There's a lot of people who are like saying, hey, man, they looking at state of politics and they're like, hey, man, we want to move out the country, or have something, another option.
In place. Absolutely.
So, so I've been working with Claudia in Colombia. So get at me if you want to invest abroad and, broaden your real estate portfolio in Colombia.
Well, tell you what, man, my listeners know that I travel quite a bit. And actually, I'm going to Colombia in September. So let's collaborate and maybe put like a group together, some investors who really want to go check out these properties and look at some real estate in Colombia. Let's look at like the first week of September and
So that'd be
put something
awesome.
together.
Claudia and I, we've kind of been kicking the can around about doing something like that because we can put a bus tour together. We've got some stuff set up where we can even take the investors on an ATV tour because we've got actually a stretch of beachfront property that we're looking for investors to raise capital to build, kind of like the Malibu of Colombia, right on the beach. So we are putting some good things together out there. So that'd be great. Let's do that.
Let's do it, man.
Sure,
I appreciate
sure.
you, Will. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Hey, y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Chat with Kip Podcast. And remember, knowledge is power.